Kampala Hospital. The nurses have no manners. You find a room with, let's say, a guest or 2 or 3. We are in Africa where people still care about their patients. We are not Bulaya, nti patient wamutusiza mu ddwaliro, then there is only the nurse. No, we are still here in Uganda, where a family is related and they still care a little bit. When you come into a room and I am paying 170,000 for a room for a night, and you cannot even greet out of courtesy, greet abantu bosanze, you just say, yeah, it is unprofessional for me to work in this environment. Please sort yourselves and get out. Which kind of manners do you have? A person is sitting and they are watching a patient in pain. And then they have to deal with a nurse that has 1,001 attitudes. Karikaze kambadde maski tekogera na bulungi kawulira. Bona ajaba mabubami bakubye simanya intravenous. They don't even explain to you dagala kiri gye bali mukuba mulwadde. Kyokka ne bakomawo nga baasamu. They are asking, pozi omulwadde twamuwadde dagala ki? Ani asembye mukolako? They should be knowing who has treated the patient last. What have they given the patient? But they ask you, the one who is a caretaker, that they don't even want to give the information. They don't even want to be polite with. They are very, very impolite. They charge for cotton, they charge for syringes, they charge for gloves, they charge, and then when you find on the invoice the gloves, they say, no, when you charge your gloves, you can take that entire box. But the nurses go out with the box of gloves. Every body card omuntu okolotya blood glucose yo mulwadde nga omanya ali ku stage 4 liver cancer. You know the blood glucose is not going to be normal. Nokole y'omunana n'ey'omwenda nga glucometer ogimanyi ya mitwalo 6. Notagamba muntu nti instead of us spending this money like this, mugende mugule ka glucometer kajja bakolera. No sasulira nurse ku ward, no bera ne patient 2 nights in that same stupid hospital. Nenga for the 2 nights no mulwadde tebamukuteko mulongoosa, tebakyusiza masuuka. Handover, tumanyi handover is a very important thing. Handover of shifts. Nti shift yadde bwebe genda vaonge genda kwasa overnight shift. There is a shift handover. Nebajja mu room nebe yanjula, hello nze musawo gundi ne gundi ono omulwadde ye gundi yenna matovu tubadde tumujjanjaba kino na kino emisana tumwadde kino na kino then ne tuddako ne kino na kino omusawo gundi ne gundi yamulabye. That is shift handover. Tubimanyi Kampala Hospital tebabikola. And then they have 1,001 swollen attitudes. Nebwogezako okwewombeka noga bannaye. Kannewombeke bannaye omusawo tumukombe buli kifo kyayagala. Atuyamba atuagalire o patient. How do we get wheeled out of emergency at around 7? No, we were wheeled out of emergency at 6:30. And then handed over to inpatient in a room. And we stayed in the room. We clocked hours. 7. Kati gwe bakwasa shifti ono Sherry Ismail Sherry yatujja mu emergency n'atukwasa akawala ka Jackie kanyumize kwambala bu earring mbukatunda earring kakola side hustle ya earring konna kamozolo obuso kawoza we are going I am leaving the shift. When you're leaving the shift there is supposed to be a shift handover ngogamba nze bana esawa zange zikomye wano naye gwaddako inakola kino na kino ne tutula mu room. You're trying to be nice, you're trying to be polite. And you stay there and say, okay, the doctors will come. They know what they are doing. Nengo labo mulwadde wa ali mbulumi. Oli mudwaliro. It took my brothers to go out on the ward to look for the doctors and nurses. At 11, we were patient. We stayed in there. Netu clocking at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11:30 ngale tuli mbabuza.